Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Ogre Battle, March of the Black Queen. We are taking our first step in the wrong way. We are here at Lake Janenia, instead of going to the Pogrom Forest, which is where we could have gone. I come here first because we can get an item here that makes the Pogrom Forest much more manageable. Not that it's necessarily unmanageable now, but you know, any little bit helps, and you'll see why once we get there. This is a relatively small map, a relatively straightforward map, nothing much to speak of in terms of secrets or anything. You see we've got one hidden temple, we've got one hidden treasure. I wonder what's on the end of that road, and nobody to recruit. I'm not sure how much it's changed since the Let's Play started, but you'll notice the icons along the end of the screen, the neutral encounters and all that in different places. It's going to be all relative. Our position versus the boss position in each stage is going to change, so keep an eye out. Not everything's going to be the same place twice. Not usually, anyway. This is, I find, a really good map to take some of your weaker units and really buff them up a little bit. Canopus and Gilbert here are very not weak, so they're not going to see a lot of action right now. But we've got some other units that didn't see a lot of action in the last couple stages, so this is where they'll get their chance to catch up. Now they're going to be behind for a good little while first, so you really need to be mindful. Keep an eye on them. You don't want them to die. But they will. You'll have a lot of deaths in this stage if you follow this way. Well, that's bad. Death reduces our reputation. Reputation is important for other things. I don't want the card. Hi, Sirius. We are the rebels. Gee, thanks. Do you have whiskers? Well, okay. I don't believe we're going to run into any new units, any new enemy types of units this go around. So, just see what we got. So, this is probably the worst layout you could have for two knights and two fighters. The knights do more damage, and they have better defense and better health, so of course you put them in the back behind the much weaker and easier to kill fighters. But if you notice, they've got more health than we do. It's because they're a good 3 or 4 levels higher than us. Which, like I said, we can manage it, but we're getting our butts kicked right now. We outnumber them. They get 2, 4, 6 attacks total. We get 8, 10 attacks total. So, yeah. It's going to be a lot of that, this map. A lot of people getting wrecked, a lot of people getting scooted around. We will be cutting out a large portion of this map, just because once we get to really that town up there by the reputation meter, there's not much more to do after that, other than hunker down and just go. Wizards just do better. Better than fighters, anyway. Alright, he finished up, so we are going to actually move him. Fooled ya! You thought we were going down to that road. Our hidden treasure is up there.
Write it out.
A wild man and some Amazons. Well, they're not really. What makes this one difficult is the Amazons have some pretty good agility, so that one in the front row is going to be hard to hit. Combine that with the wild man who's doing great damage, and the Amazons in the back row getting 2 hits each. We're going to have a death right about now. And again, they are 2 or 3 levels higher than the rest of us. But keep in mind, the eyes of the people are upon us, as the guy in the last episode said. People like being able to root for an underdog, so it's not always a bad thing to go into a situation a little on the downside. Plus, when you remember how the battles work here, it's damage dealt, not units defeated. So, where those fighters didn't have a ton of health, even though they were killed, it didn't take a lot of damage to kill them, so it's pretty much 2 of those attacks of the enemies were wasted. That is good and bad. What's up? Lake Jensenia. So, my big problem with this game is the translation isn't consistent. I believe that was addressed in the PlayStation version, but I have the Super Nintendo version, so that's what we're playing. Actually, I do own a copy of this. I bought it for 20 bucks, and it was a worthwhile 20 bucks. I've never actually finished it on the cartridge, just because it takes so long. But yeah, the translation's a little hit and miss. Time again for a Doll Mage, and this time we have got a Golem with the Doll Mage. Golems don't have a lot of health, but golems have an incredibly high number of defense. And what we want to do here is we're going to use that moon card. Reverses the order of the units. So now the Doll Mage is in front, which means we can whack out on him. We're going to switch back over to strong, so the wizard, when he gets his turn, will attack the golem. Golems have really high physical defense and really low magic defense. Excuse me. And all they do is punch. They'll punch 3 times in the front and 2 times in the back. Now, should mention, when you use the moon card to reverse the order, the attack type changes, but the number of attacks does not. So that Doll Mage would have had 1 acid in the back and 1 of that little doll rush in the front. Swapped around, it still has, 2 of the doll rushes in the front. It will have 1 acid, or 2 acids in the back instead of 1, and 1 of the doll rush things in the front instead of 2. So, not a good idea to switch it so a Doll Mage is in the back row. There is a theory that I haven't been able to pin down that in this game, in this version, this Ogre battle, March of the Black Queen at the very least, putting a beast man, like that guy, in with some beast people or monsters, like these hawkmen, griffins, wyverns, whatever, reduces the effectiveness of the beasts because they're scared of the whip. I don't know if that's true. I've read it somewhere, but I haven't noticed any difference in all the time I've played this game. This is an interesting setup because we have a wizard in the front row. Wizards are the absolute worst thing to put in the front row, probably even worse than clerics. They really cannot take a hit. You see me pulling out these cards here, and I'm doing that because, like I said, we're at a disadvantage, and I'm trying to use those cards to even the playing field a bit. So the Hierophant card puts everybody to sleep. It kind of works like Witch's Stunning. You hit somebody, they'll wake up. Wizards in the back row get 2 magic spells. They get 2 thwacks with their staff, just like that in the front row. They are, of course, not very good at that. That is a big help right there. That's Tornado. Tornado is physical-based magic damage, as much sense as that makes. Acid that the Doll Mage casts is the multi-target version of Tornado. Waking up a unit basically causes them to lose a turn. If somebody can do 2 of something and you put them asleep and you wake them up, they'll only be able to do 1 of something. Now we're gonna heal here because there's a lot of people hanging out, and it's starting to get a little dicey. Now we just plug along. There's our loss. It's gonna happen. Not much we can do about it. At least, you know. Here's the other downside to this is that city we're trying to get to is the shop. So if we don't have a lot of healing items, if we don't have any revives, we're gonna be in a little bit of trouble. Which is another reason why I dip into the tarot cards a little bit.
Liberation.
That's alright. We will be fine. I'm not worried about it. I know how the Let's Play ends. That's bad. We don't want that. The death card would be so super helpful for some of these situations we're getting ourselves into. But werewolves? That's just silly. Why would there be werewolves in a universe filled with dragons and wizards? Don't even make sense. Anyway, let's just keep on pressing on. Heal up a little bit, of course. I'm trying not to overdo it, but I also don't want to underdo it. I'd rather heal somebody than, you know, revive them. A cleric and 2 giants. This is actually a pretty good unit, all things considered, because that's 6 attacks from the giants. They've got good health, they've got good defense, they've got good attack. Not super great at the agility thing, but yeah, it's a good unit. You're not going to often have enough opportunity to do a whole lot of damage to a giant. And what you will do, that cleric's just going to heal anyway. Again, this is not, you know, scripture that that's how it's going to work, but thankfully we're kind of catching up in levels slightly, so we're able to do a little more damage and hit-wise. It's getting dicey. Should have bought more healing items. It'll be alright. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. We're going to be just fine. I'm also going to constantly be looking at the units to see if we can do any job swaps. Alright, well, we lost that one. Didn't get any jobs available. It'll be fine. It'll be just fine. Some of my editing's not been great. I'm sorry.
Liberation.
Good way to start. Ooh, and that's... that's wonderful. So not only do we get a charisma boost, which is good. Oh, tell us about Sirius. What? That guy's a jerk. I take back the one nice thing I probably didn't say about him. Anyway, that Empress card. That's full heal the whole unit, so... very nice. And we made it.
Liberation.
We can shop again. We can buy things that will keep us alive again. It's good to be alive. Well, that's not so great. You know what? You're a jerk. No. I don't buy it. If you say yes, your reputation will take a hit. If you say no, your reputation will remain unchanged. So this shop sells a bell, which is a dinner bell, which will send whatever unit you use it on back to the headquarters. And Sunshine, which is basically a sun card that you can use anytime. Just turns any time of day into noon. Not super useful. Except one time. When would you want it to be daytime instead of night around here anyway?
Liberation.
Everything just happening all at once, man. Oh boy. Werewolves do exist. That guy's pretty sure. Yeah, that one guy who's like, no, the wolves are... Nope, gotta be werewolves. We got the other guy saying the girls are being fed to dogs. I don't know, man. We'll just top up with some of the stuff we've been picking up along the way. Okay, we found a charm. Charms are kind of nice. What a charm does is basically
Find out.
everything in an enemy unit that isn't the leader of that unit will come to your side. You can use them to get some recruits for units that you don't have or you want extra of, or fast forward there, or the next best thing, the thing that I like to use the charms for, is if I'm about to fight a unit that's been really obnoxious and I just want to kill them, like this. Well, now I just got 3 Hawkmen, and this guy is all by himself. Just makes it so much easier.
Liberation.
So, there's a temple down here. This is our hidden temple. We will hear the legend of it shortly. Aha! Now that we know who the leader is, we can pop his picture up there. So, don't try and meet him at night. Got it. I wonder if there's an item that will let us turn night into day. I wonder where we might be able to buy one of those. We came here for that rune axe. The rune axe is a white magic weapon. Does extra damage to evil things. Sirius is evil, so it works pretty well on him. Problem is, though, you gotta give it to somebody who can actually hit him. But anyway, it's tomorrow. There's our new unit. This is a unit that I really like. 3 knights, a cleric, and a Valkyrie. You get really good physical, you get some good magic, and you get good healing. So I mean, you can't disagree with that. Anyway, let's go see the boss. The jerk that he is. Now, if it happens to get night on the way, we'll just stop and wait. We've wiped out everything on the map. Hey, it's me. Hi. No. No, I owe you nothing.
Find it out.
So, Sirius. Look, it's just ladies everywhere. Fits with the character. He is very strong. He is not a fighter, though he looks like a fighter. If we come here at night, he will be a werewolf. And if we happen to let him kill somebody when he is a werewolf, they will catch the werewolf virus, and they themselves will become a werewolf. He, in the daytime, while still being very strong, is pretty ineffective. He gets one attack, front row or back row. If you come here at night, when he's in werewolf form, his stats are improved. He gets 3 attacks in the front and 1 in the back, and yeah, it's not pleasant. But there we go. We have liberated Elsrum, capital of Lake Gennesia, whichever one you want to go with. Give me some money. Beautiful. Let's save the game. Beautiful. So we've opened up a couple of new locations, but since we have done so much with our units, getting them leveled up, we can see if there's any class changes we want to do. See, that unit there could be 2 Valkyries in the back, which would be amazing. Nothing going on there. Do we have anything to clean up? Nothing to equip. We will take away your rune axe, though, because we want to give it to somebody else. But the other thing we're going to do is clean up this unit, because we're not going to use them much anymore. Now we have Gilbert. That's not what I wanted to do. We have Gilbert, as I was saying. So we don't need a super great flying unit. We will add one of our new Hawkmen to this unit, to Warren's unit, who is very behind the times when it comes to levels. Some of those guys were like level 2. And this Samurai's level 3, so that ain't really much better. We can do that. That will make them slightly more useful. And then we don't need Hannibal anymore. And we don't need Toramides anymore. So, good. Cleans that up. So, we have 3 options to go. That one on the far west is where the game wants us to go. That is our, when I said all roads lead to Rome, that is Rome. We can go through the Pogrom Forest, which is to the north. We can go through the mountains to the south. And we'll get there eventually. But let's wander around here. There might be something worth checking out. I'm fairly positive there's nothing over there. What the heck am I doing? I think I know what I'm doing. I think I want to recruit a class. So we're going to try and recruit a class. It shows up in the mountains. That's the bummer about sending out extra units. Once you've liberated a an area, oh, maybe this is it. You don't get paid from them anymore. So having this unit out, there we go. Be my friend, werewolf man. Thank you. Having any unit out that isn't the leader's unit is going to cost you more money. That's all there is to that. So we got ourselves a werewolf. That's pretty cool. And one little thing, if we stop by the capital here, then we'll call it an episode. Can't get the dog smell out of the carpet. You guys are so funny. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.